All right, I want to get back to that Biden budget and take a look at what it means for our children and grandchildren. Joining me now, the Hill columnist Kristin Tate. Kristin, the Biden budget promises the greatest years of year after year, trillion-dollar deficits. Now, in return, they say they're going to be helping families with things like child care. But with public debt already north of $28 trillion, I mean, at some point we feel the pain. So how does this really help families, especially future generations?
Well, this is going to be devastating for us for generations to come. Biden spent $1.9 trillion when he took office. He now wants to spend an additional $4 trillion on a misleadingly named infrastructure bill, plus new social spending. Look, you can't just foolishly spend trillions of dollars every month, Charles, with no consequences. We are now looking at the real possibility of 1970s style economic stagflation. Inflation's already happening. Consumer prices are way up. Housing is up 11%. Gas is up 22%, lumber's up 250%. And of course, inflation hurts the poor the most. These are folks who still have to go buy groceries, still have to put gas in their cars. This financial irresponsibility is what cripples currencies and destroys nations. It's terrifying and it's surreal what's going on in Washington, D.C.
What do you make, though? I mean, listen, you've had people like Larry Summers, Jason Furman, well-known economists on the left who have sort of chided President Biden about this. What do you make, then, of the administration just overlooking what you just said, what they've said, and just going, I mean, this seems like obviously it would make AOC happy, but what do you think is driving this?
Our politicians have found out that it's an easy way to get people to support you when you promise them government goodies, and it's, a short-term sugar high when you keep spending like this. But the consequences, the long-term consequences are going to be devastating, and future generations are going to be paying off this debt. It's going to result in a worse job market, a weaker dollar. It's really a bad,
it's so funny.
Bad economy we're probably looking
Kristin,
at.
Because I agree with what you said, but we've come a long way from a chicken in every pot, that's for sure. And I want to talk about your new role. Congratulations, Communications Director for Don Huffines. He's running for governor of Texas.
You.
It's interesting because I saw where you kind of retweeted a tweet he put out, and I want to share it with the audience. Never let the government dictate your life. You should decide if you get a vaccine. You should decide if you're going to stay at home. You should decide if your business is open or closed. What's the message here? I mean, is this about, because we're feeling that the nation is moving closer toward this notion that the government overplayed its hand.
Yep. People are finally starting to push back, and they should. The most important thing that we have as Americans is freedom. And COVID was used as an excuse by politicians and bureaucrats to enact the largest government power grab in modern political history. And of course, some states like Florida handled the pandemic much better. Here in Texas, though, Charles, 3 million jobs were killed in 1 week due to draconian lockdowns. We now have one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. That's one of the reasons why I joined the Don Huffines campaign. He's a true conservative. He wants to make Texas a lighthouse for freedom in this country again. But to your original question, people are starting to get fed up with these big government power grabs. Americans want their freedoms back.
Well, congratulations on the job. We'll be checking in with you, Kristin. Great to see you.
Thank you so
and folks,
much.
We will be right back.